你看一下这里，你看一下这样有没有了？
你讲话看看，
喂，
讲话看看，讲话，讲话，讲话。为什么会有回音？三小，
因为你的喇叭直接播出来了，然后我听到你的声音，所以就会这样，
我出估2到3秒吧，感觉。
差不多。超低电池大概是怎么样吧？还不错啊，我网络还撑得住啊。
而且我还，你还有在开 DC 的，
啊，对哦，那我把电视关起来。
戒掉。
大小哪里不满吗？
我希望你被打爆，勒布朗欸，
勒布朗是还行啊，
5开。
差不多五开，差不多的五开。
你敢不敢上前去给他扛一下？
我不敢，我孬，好吧，我孬。
1000块
1000块台币吗？还是美金？
美金，
好，
然后还要打赢。
好，算了，1000块没关系，1000块就算了吧，没关系的。分数比较重要一点。哎，让我啊，他不让我 W，几百。
他现在在普攻，他带什么？他带雷神。
雷神啊，
给他 A 一下，他看起来像 A 你。
等我2等再让 A，
AQW 触发雷神，直接炸线，
没有那么夸张了。
直接把日本炸了。
为什么要炸日本？
因为美国啊，
宝贝，嗯，
哦，现在是0.1哦。
妈3等了。
哦，没看到。漏
啊，还好了，
漏，
露露出五码。啊啊啊啊！
拜。
没事。哦，
队友那么糟的吗？怎么可能？
我爱我的队友，太傻了吧！
怎么可能？怎么会有这种意识？然后下路直接上来中路干一波？
然后还完美拿兵，太狠了！
干，怎么可能？
怎么不可能？这里是美服，什么事情都可能发生的。
太扯了吧！
太扯了啦！老板不要活了！
哇，不敢带，有狼还不敢塔杀，
废话，
这边直接推烂他。
哇，他木很狂
你好像要，
哇，好狠！
你好像要逛街嘞。
没啥了，我可以试看 Tower Dive。好诶，队友们，你帮我们，我帮你们。
喂，好，我现在下去，谢谢。打个麦当劳。
OK，爸爸。
麦当劳配开中的操作，下课。
操你妈的！
哎，北北云好像不会死哎。
干，可是那个要扭也是蛮难的，你知道吗？
往冰走啊！
看你老师嘞，他妈冰在哪？
这都不会哦，烂死
damn 啦！操你妈的！
烂死！
我就烂，我超烂，我烂的不行。
哇，他是薯条啊，
什么薯条？
完全没有演，超级。
笑死！很多人喜欢吃没盐的薯条啊，不知道为什么。
啊，他们就以为这样健康减肥啊，
嗯，
妈你都在吃薯条，操！
对啊。
变种是不是啊？
什么东西？
思。
何董真没上我、啊。
现在糖醋酱有个难吃的，
有变哦？
有啊，
改什么？
啊？
改什么？
好像不是变很久了吗？
我不知道我不知道改什么，就是味道不一样了。
嗯哼，
差很多吗？
很多。
是哦。
啊，偶尔不知道为什么会有原本的糖醋酱出现，
就是以前的货没消掉吧
还有？番茄酱。我每次订都是同一家，蛮奇怪的。
反正糖醋酱这种东西可以放好几百年的，没差了。
是吗？
他们那个防腐期不是都好久吗？忘记多久了。
没有啊，我看他们到期率都蛮低，还蛮快的。毕竟麦当劳不缺钱。
确实。麦当劳叔叔是你爹爹啊？
他们不会像塔达胜吧？
有机会。
我有白痴角色，
傻笑。
真的是白痴角色欸。
刚才那个晕也太久了吧？我不知道刚不知道好像不需要拉上去。
对啊，
随便，不重要，擦到就好。
W 应该不能防点燃吧？
W 不行吧？
对啊，应该不行吧？
我没有过那角色。巨玩智障角，从你我做起。
一秒识破，我觉得一秒识破很帅欸。
过来，过来，谢谢谢谢大爷爸爸，谢谢爸爸。
太扯了，应该跟刚那场的攀升牌，
算了吧，刚牌我这把应该脑溢血了。
比较有挑战性。还有一个吗？好，好，哪来自信打得赢我？你的自信是谁给你的？ 还不差红眼，
杀人啊，杀人要紧。你在跟我认真的吗？
拜。
为什么大家都有闪现？为什么大家都闪现？不公平！去死啊，红姐！算了，干。
因为你们没有读音币帮忙记闪现啊。
多硬币啊！多硬币连世界赛都打不了，算了吧。
我那时候他打是真的觉得他感觉就不强啊，
那确实不强啊。
所以他是世界冠军。
他那一年赢的是因为版本刚好适合他、啊，那时候啊，他就是玩什么加里奥啊、墨菲特中路，就玩坦克中路啊，就是玩那种出来让人砍的，
我记得他那时候搬出的角色都很奇葩。
对吧、洗地板加入了，好吧。
后来才知道中国甚至把英雄联盟做成一个游戏，
什么游戏？
就是你可以选选手、签选手，然后打比赛啊，
哦，我知道啊，
超强。
没有啊那个叫做 Fantasy Sport 啊，那个国外那个美式足球那些很久就有了，很久以前就有了。
然后我觉得，就像 2K 那样，不是吗？
不是，那个是你可以玩角色，那个不一样，那纯粹就只是你挑你喜欢的角色，然后组成一队，然后跟别人竞争而已，纯粹这样而已。
就很像 2K 没干。
不是啊，他妈 2K 能玩，你他妈是能玩是不是？
他那个也能玩啊，我看到也能玩啊。然后我觉得就是蛮强，
怎么说？
不知道，就是觉得蛮强。就是这样玩起来也有一种违和感。
违和感。那除了你会想去玩吗？
啊？
你会想去玩吗？出了之后，
那不是已经出了吗？
在中国而已啊。
是不会、啊，
你不会啊？
我不看咯。
嗯，确实，你也
有 Toys 我考虑。
我不知道以前选手会不会有
不可能
不一定哦。
，Toys 有贩毒经历耶，怎么看中国会拉上？
不一定吧，要看 M5 有没有上，因为 M5 他们之前是被 FBI 抓起来耶。M5 就是之前那个俄罗斯队啊，S2的时候，
我知道
对吧？啊，如果他们都能出的话，凭什么推这不能出？因为他是香港人。
很怕怎么被抓、啊？这我不知道哎、
你说 M5 吧？
对啊，
要说原因，其实还蛮麻烦的。
这我真的不知道哎、
我印象中好像是跟集团有关系吗？犯罪集团之类的，忘记了。反正是跟黑手党，我印象中是跟那个俄罗斯黑手党有关啦，没意外的话。 好像是他们站队那个投资者的问题，我印象中。
Let's go 塞勒斯1秒识破，
做不到，做不到，这个真的做不到。
不行。有没有？这不就做到了？
哦，他说了，
对哦，原本还以为看死定了，放生
直接的放生放生，哎，看，好像不太对。
他怎么？
哎，他好像赢了。等一下，他好像有点强。谢谢各位吹风，谢谢各位吹风，
好，
谢谢各位吹风，谢谢各位吹风。
好，
好啊！
一直想要快转你的直播，然后一直忘记
一直忘记你在看直播。
解掉。
啊，对不起啦，我直播很无聊，对不起哦，无聊到想让你快转，
打快一点。
快一点。
现在崇尚素食影片，素食都快吃完了，
笑死！哎，吃完就跑出去跑了。
对啊。
行吧
啊，这场玩应该差不多了。
嗯，
咱们现在距离还不错。
你是吃麦克鸡块啊？
不是，
不然呢？
新做的汉堡，
叫什么？
起司3层牛。
起司。
你不吃起司啊？忘了。
我不喜欢吃，我不吃起司啊。
红橙一样。还有出双层牛薯饼，
那不是以前就有了吗？
起司。
啊，又是起司。
起飞。没有，以前是塞在什么过年的汉堡里哦，薯饼。
那个薯饼那个啊。
就是塞在类似大麦克里面。
哦，就是差不多的招数，然后用在不同人身上。
对，但是好吃。
好吃啊。
对啊。
好吃那不错呀。
可惜你不爱起司。
不知道啊，反正我是那个麦当劳那个什么，披萨就接受得了，可是那种起司片我就接受不了。
奶酪嘞？
奶酪也可以啊。他们是都讨厌我啊。
确实。
就是要操烂我，家都要没了还要杀我。
其实我很少遇到不吃起司的。
是哦。
装你红橙月。
我就不喜欢它那个味道啊。就是我不介意吃有起司这种，如果非要吃的话，我不介意吃。可是可以选择不吃，我一定不吃。懂我意思吗？
因为明川出现在我家，我不知道他来干嘛。
他现在你家啊？
对啊。
那也不是约说要吃饭
啊？我有没有跟他约晚上啊？
哦。
我吃完就要去跑
真的假的？
对啊。
我想有的有吃。
哦。那你不是说3点？
小车的。
切掉。你在群上，他只是往后跑。
真的假的？
你还没说你变丑。
我变丑？我靠，严凯明，我变丑？
我变剪头发。
你真的变丑？
好，没关系啊，严凯明像这样啊，没关系啦，严凯明。
啊？
都嫌我丑嘛，没关系啊，没关系，没关系。
还有你头发很长，
很丑哦，好，没关系啊，
很长吗？
很长，
很长，不是很丑。
哦，很长，还蛮长的，现在蛮长的。
换岁啊！啊，他就喜欢放这种白痴照片啊，就不被检举小鬼啊。
你喜欢我头发吗？
他最近有 AI 就检举，我也蛮关心的拔的。
但我现在觉得我中间这边要秃头了。
要秃？
对啊，我看这中间这里，我觉得中间好像有点空空的感觉。
我最近也觉得我快秃了，所以我去买头皮水。
你去买什么？
头皮水干嘛800块？操！
头皮水？头皮水给干嘛？
670吧。
是护发吗？还是怎样？
护发
哦，
护头皮啊，对吧？
我是觉得最近自己掉头发变掉很多。
对吧？600、700、9块，600块啊！因为我头皮很糟啊，我头皮都有痘痘。
我头皮也会有痘痘啊。
那你真的你也需要用个头皮水。
是哦。
那你那个很快就秃了。
长痘痘哦？
对啊，
真假的？长痘痘会秃哦？
就是头皮很糟啊。
是哦。
痘痘都被我抓包这样。
哦，好吧，我是不会这样了。
你要打激斗峡谷？可以啊。
直接干脆不去跑了。
打一把还好，我们就也要消化一些。
一把打完后就再一把。
换你冲，我84欸。我等下要用上班用手机欸。啊，你车上不能冲，切掉。你线欸？啊，你线欸？看，新公司还是旧公司？哎，不知道我去写辞呈。
啊，你要辞工作了？
没有，他要换一间公司。
现在要换去哪一间啊？
你换去哪一间？我应选自选第7天。
很扯啦，
没有了，不是，是第4天。我选什么啊？等一下让我选一下艾克上不要，我连电脑版艾克上我也没玩过，不知道。我知道他会复活人的。干了，我要换 UP， 我要糖分。干艾克这还中艾克
艾克怎么了？
对啊，他刚玩艾克啊，2连败。
没有好吗
2连败，
没一把而已好不好？就一把而已。
然后换个派克好了，说不定我变到辅助之类的。咬我啊！
我抽根烟哦，等会回来。
哦吗？我要中路。等一下，我先把我的粉末加成全部开起来。真假的？我这个是不是其实我全部用就对了？笑死！经验加成卡最大，全部开。哦，现在什么路？ 哎，你拿什么路？
是吧？
切让我 C 你，嫁给我。
干，我今天有一场，我今天4-0开局，然后对面说投降，然后我们15分钟马上投降。
哈，
对面说他脑，然后他队友就分手，然后我们队友就不知道怎么办。
哎，你知道我现在跟何嘉明是完美队友吗？我们两个抽超法的时候用的。啊，他原本不是白金一吗？何嘉明呢？吊烂。上来之后，你之前不是有玩激斗？
我最喜欢
对啊，我知道啊。不想跟你用。每天你给我充吗？我想充电。
阿卡丽啊，
对。被萨米拉。就大家对面何嘉明，
这就
不知道。
没看到。
我要怎么抓别人那个？哦，前3名玩家是吗？这带瞬级步伐是假的。我不是可以开造型吗？超低的啊，
看到
解掉。你说普罗宝箱吗？那开得到，感觉出来，因为我之前开过超多的，再做加成爆满。
解票。
所以说换到哪一件呢？
好进。
我之前我上次跟你说我那投资型那什么安达，这样，嗯，是啊，
长段那真的是
不好卖，是，
长辈都比较喜欢。但卖的没不行，我没办法跟我客户保证。
啊，回来了，宝贝们。
假如你之前不是有玩肌肉峡谷？
有啊，
你不是还跟王源上分？
是我带他上分，好不好？
知道你不是带他上分？
我忘记那个
那有
什么
是
白金在上面是什么？
那有上到吗？翡翠啊，
对啊，我那时候带他上翡翠。
他有上到吗？
有啊，你说干到吗？没有啊，你觉得呢？
啊，你说啊？翡翠啊？剪掉。哎、它里面阿卡丽叫我带瞬级步伐、欸，
讲哎，
我更不会玩阿卡丽。
我看一下哦，
好看，到底
不然我也来下载，然后几千片跟你们玩，好不好？
你那边跟我们连干嘛6万拼是不是？
应该还是可以玩啦。
可以啊，
你们
可是他拼会超高啊。
你们不是也才银牌金牌，那还好啊。
嗯，
你们不是银牌金牌而已。
错。对啊，可是我猜他台服的激斗服性应该就是挂在香港 那吧，我猜啊。
反正怎么挂怎么爆。
没事。没有啊，台湾的鸡肉在台湾呢、啊，你讲什么？
台湾不是就基本上没有人挂，是不是在台湾？
台湾大哥大代理了，你讲什么？是台湾大哥大的伺服器耶。
啊，说不定他伺服器在香港啊。
没有啊，在台湾啊。
是啊，
嗯，
因为我记得很多游戏的台服，像 Apex 的台服，其实就是挂在香港，只是他是挂台服的。干你娘！你再丢一次 Q， 我已经打爆你！操你妈！好，我被打爆了。哎、欸，看这希克斯超痛的啦！这怎么玩？
怎么玩？
解掉哎、欸！给你推，给你推，他妈一推，给你推，操！我死了。解掉。这希克斯痛到炸开！阿木木，快帮我下！手机回线超快的啊，超爽！
哇，这把上路哎，好狠哦！
攻啊！中他攻到。
我过去了。你他妈的哦！啊，收掉了。我无情送头。Still down. System。你在呛什么啊？
没有啊，因为我的中路是慢上路，然后补到中路，然后我是慢中路，然后补到上。
你是慢中路补到上路。
对，我这个为什么？为什么这个是我
刚刚换了？
超智障哎、欸！有啊，我刚换了，我就觉得很白痴而已。我没有这种系统啊。
妈的，艾卡利到底怎么打希格斯啊？操！教一下好不好？陈开忠教一下好不好？
我又不玩电脑版，我怎么会知道？
艾卡利要怎么打希格斯？啊，电脑版阿卡利要怎么打希格斯？
就杀他就赢了。
他点到，帅！
跌掉。干我没状态，我不是很想帮这一波欸。 操你妈的！不知道。干原本就不是很想干，这派克有什么毛病啊？
超大。
干他有什么毛病？这什么毛病？是我放不下你。
我好久没听高尔宣了，我来听一下。
成为你，用你双眼来看这个世界，就能把你锁在视线，因为。
啊！
爱情是那种很经典的故事，能说很多遍，也随着时间慢慢老去，你会懂很多。
嘿，你也扎上路那只吧？
嗯，对啊，我跟他讲说，这把好像你中路好像比较好，因为那个卡萨丁可以被他靠来靠去的。
超解的啦！
我跟内开明要输了，
真假啊？
对，
天狠，
这都
输吧。
输在哪？
啊，你还没在搞？没有，你队友都怪怪的。
我之前在激斗是面凯撒的、凯撒那时候好强哦，好好玩的。
现在激斗有红眼，
是哦，
对啊，
激斗要红眼干嘛？
不知道。哇，这些是贼痛哎、怎么打？再教教我。不是啊，我就没钱，跟我现实一样。啊，那什么东西？快回家了，差那么一秒。哇啊！怎么你们也炸了？
没差了，那个辅助拿头还好。
现在这边8-16哎。贾克是超肥的啦。打不透。打不透。你他妈的！加死！ 妈，干没点死，超解的。哦，
没死啊，他怎么都痛？
他超痛的，他前面就超痛了，完全不知道怎么打。干回家还剩一滴。真的。是好运的 AP 哦，没有。他造飞的啊。我的也差不多。哇，我已经出模仿了，可以不要这样吗？
三个冲，然后三个都挡他的。
哎，靠北，我耍白痴。干这，这拍个超烂的。啊，到底谁不投？是不是你不投？干不投？啊，那好运姐超肥的。手机的阿卡里不能依自己的烟雾。我想像你对我那样对你，让你过得更加安逸，不被现实的压力左右。我也想过如何才能成为你的骄傲，让你可以提到我就嘴角带着笑。还是学不会你跟我说的，做人不要那么高调，有些毛病我就是改不掉。我也常常想到过去就后悔。等级比大地鲁斯低。没能管住跟你叛逆时的臭嘴，以前无知对你说的气话，现在我想全部收回。离开家以后，外面很美，有了新的朋友，新的称谓，被人羡慕过，被泼过冷水，后来才体会到家的珍贵。我知道你一直担心我选择走的路，原则性的问题能不能守得住，你不用担心，我在心里有个数。虽然也在 party 上被人搂着吐，我也知道外面世界有点复杂，像个丛林，但现实从来不对弱者同情。走在布满雷的游戏中，我必须变得聪明，但一如既往还是保持憧憬。你那每天过得好是我的愿望，我只希望你跟妈妈开心健康。我已经有了能为你承担的肩膀，全部都交给我，虽然我身在远方。偶尔听到你的催促，那方面的进度怎么还是龟速？看我朋友们的陆续找到归宿。好运有经济14000啊，怎么打？让我感觉强烈到想跟他有个家，做个单身汉的感觉其实还不错，起码自己赚的钱都给我自己花。很多话跟镜子说，交了更多朋友，但能聊的并不多。还好我有我的团队让我信得过，我把不好意思跟你聊的放在歌里说。现在做我想做的，过我想过的，每一步都走得清楚，不会轻易闯祸了。为了告诉那些预言家们，他们想错。差小啊，他普攻我一下就一直烧我扬起我的帆，做好一切准备，已经开动
拜凯中，凯中拜。
怎么你又走了？
没有，我只是看你要死了。
确实。
17比36，我们队不投降啊！
惨呢。
就连凯明在那边不投。解掉欸。这个，哇，好烂哦！是欸，有维加在阿卡丽到底怎么玩？
哦，维加超康阿卡丽的。
对啊，康烂啊！
我遇到阿卡丽都会拿维加康。
刚好打一波团，我就想进去输一波。他直接一个1，我直接变白痴，操！维加美，康烂欸。啊，这个亚宁不玩了。怎么可能？你在想彼此哦？可以投了，这有什么不投的？连那个亚宁都直接去。收你妈啦！这有什么好不投的？他亲戚18000，到底在跟什么？白痴哦，直接少14%电，解掉。我的宝星盾卡生效了，解掉欸。按几趴？按几趴？按可以啦。啊，你等下有没有要干嘛？为什么我有个3连胜啊？我不是3连败吗？是维加操！
别老想着睡，有多少人比你还疲惫？你的痛都不算痛，你的累就不算累。你说对不对？对不对？对不对？你说对不对？对不对？对不对？因为世界很美丽，别轻易就灰心，时间总会让你危机，但大部分会成为忆。这是我擅长的方式，以前不受欢迎的样子，现在大家都叫我，因为获得了赏识。我的词，我的 bro， 我的 hood， 我的 whole miss，全部都走起来了，老
哇，我这把好痛苦哦。
你们怎么好小腻啊？
是小逆没错啊，就是这个我也不知道怎么讲哎。
那大绝是谁的？
二
哦，二噔噔，不至于啊，这没有牛哎、啊，
哦，吓死我了！
白凯中，哇，
哦，吓死宝宝了！吓死我了！哎。哦哦。
笑了。把毛病然后是两个人，嘉文上去哦。不急。
我美国的朋友在看我实况，就跟我讲说：“他妈的，对面也太烂了吧！”
看我你讲，我没有按到点燃。我也参与。
I can stack my fucking Magi's, okay? Shut the fuck up. Okay.
你们队友看起来不错。 戒掉。我变超卡的，
卡。
但是
nice nice
nice 鳄鱼 nice 一扛四，
nice
鳄鱼一扛四，
fuck
他是 A 下嘎痛吧？
A 下嘎通。
蛮痛的。来靠！我没在看，真的。但是卡萨丁的战绩是什么啊？我刚好看错吗？
没有，
哦，错。
是有点小飞。
这边可以投人。
希望。
我说我跟连凯明的对面。
有啊，你这把屌虐啊！
你们这把屌虐吗？
你
下嘎通在吸吗？
我跟 Echo 在洗了。
快拉出来，快拉出来！
我回不去吗？卸掉，有点卡。卸掉。这台中，你要负 W 还是负1啊？
辽宁不一样。
对啊。
不要让塔塔被打。
AD 不要吗？AD 不是蛮肥的吗？新一德是不是来了？新一德来了。
拉一个闪现，没事。
想说我那边大全部你应该可以。
刚也是这么想的、我刚想说，我们的打得很漂亮。
你是不是放太快？
没有，我等你几分完呢、你上次打完了、
你手机拍科大没有那个吗？
整他线吗？
懂啊，
就整他线啊。
干，那就是你的放嘛，那就是你放太快嘛。
可是我放完也没有整他线、啊。
你等那个蔡雅打先啊。
Meet the gap, meet the gap。
戒掉，
戒掉
脚不倒在下。
，meet the gap。
哎，让我回去，让我回去，我被束缚，什么鬼？我是谁束缚？
Meet the gap。
辛吉德过前摔超解的。
我天！
干，我被辛吉德摔到一个哑铃回不去，
真假的？
超解。去偷我们家这具经济。虚荣心在跟我谎报，也许我不是真的想要，我发现没有真的爽到。回想起那双让我骄傲的鞋，当我低下头看，它已经变得越来越旧，但此刻它却显得 so 小。我发现每天都有新的酒，也发现每天都有旧的心。我会为了新的拼个够，也不会忘了旧的陪我拼。因为我细心练就，细心练就，细心。交给你了。哇！我以为你有大，我没跟哦。你都不回家。我们都闪着，帮 Jungle 吃龙。我根本不在，
所以
我刚不是说我在帮个强狗吃龙？哎，你空大。
哇，漂亮！
超赚！我们这边这一波4换1起飞，我们死4个，他们死1个。现在说我们这波4换1起飞，
起飞。
我死超多次。
你死几次？我15次。
他怎么改了？经济全队看全经济我最穷是怎样？
你就穷鬼哦。
辅助为什么这种场大家打一打之后就一直往中路跑啊，然后来吃中路的兵是这样？中路是没有人权的，参与中路是没有人权。
确实。
让我回去，让我回去，金。刷也刷完了，再去吃头。没事，但他们招都被我骗掉了。慢慢打。完了，护士。好惨哦！我被塔打死了，没有游戏体验。不要，手痛。在一场我手机是这样没电。啊，我输出还不错诶，我没有菲欧拉、哦，自己玩的。来，开中先关了，拜拜。
8888888。
你再打电话给我，拜了。
OK。哦，我有问永汉，永汉应该也会去了，你们两个应该会比较快。
你说 Yoko？
对啊。
OK 啊，拜拜。
OK，拜。
浪费时光。Rain inside your eyes, don't need no mansion. Hop on my whip， 我们去天线，没有人能够 get in our way。这年出发 ，baby girl 你天选。I don't know why, don't ask me questions。什么都点头，没问题选选。我会带你过上 better days。晒晒太阳晚睡 ，Just come with me， 怕因为擦干净，秘密说给沙滩听 ，You stay with me。当你的007中弹 ，Put that on me， 有点些放进，肩膀靠得超轻松，背着你跑进沟，让爱延续，跟着落山风，台北吹到屏东。踏过那人山，游过那人海 ，I'll stick with you, baby, you decide。在屏东放松放闪，You're my brightest star。Clouds inside your mind, don't measure that. Hop on my whip, your majesty。没有人能够 get in the way。正装出发 ，baby girl 我天选。带赛过境只能我点着头。All I feel is love everywhere I go。没别的地方会像在屏东，潮晒多纬度的暖留在心中。怕 跨过那人山，游过那人海。I'll stick with you, baby, you decide. 在平农放松放闪，You're my brightest star. 爬过那人山，游过那人海，跨过了阻碍，超越你的爱。But I will let you decide, girl. My brightest star. Should've known 你不是个 basic girl， 我早该想透。Oh, just pick up your phone。你这种暧昧的捉弄，我早就看透。Oh baby， 我知道，我知道。Fuckboy 把每基本的步骤对你根本完全没用，但我知道，连 Wonder 我们也需要依靠。生活在天堂岛上的女孩 ，I'll make you feel like you're in paradise。身体之间互动有你主宰，我们不再需要任何阻碍。Let's fuck all night， 像活在天堂岛上的女孩 ，I'll make you feel like you're in paradise。身体之间互动有你主宰，我们不再需要任何阻碍。Let's fuck all night。Oh Diana Diana。Oh, you just keep getting finer。卸下你所有的心理建设，在这里没潜规则。夺走你武装赤裸的身体，你美的像幅画，像个艺术品。慢慢仔细研究你身体的奥秘，却一不小心就这么上了瘾。配合你，整个为了你，这里出人命，准备照相机，多少个证据证明你的灵魂记忆。这首 R&B 把你逼到疯了。不会在乎你的感情到的，我知道，我知道。Fuckboy 把每基本的步骤对你根本完全没用，但我知道，连 Wonder 我们也需要依靠。生活在天堂岛上的女孩 ，I'll make you feel like you're in paradise。身体之间互动有你主宰，我们不再需要任何阻碍。Let's fuck all night， 像活在天堂岛上的女孩 ，I'll make you feel like you're in paradise。身体之间互动有你主宰，我们不再需要任何阻碍。Let's fuck all night。
Thought about what you said to me earlier, about how we should take this thing we have between us a step further. I guess I just need some time to process it, you know? Can you come over?
记得她今天是什么打扮，其实就算没有穿也好看，可能怕我东西弄不见，最好别冒险着往前整女伴。网面都在问她是谁新的美，把她不站紧，她是手还是飞我都不在意，别开车不安全，因为在看你，把我爬到女明星。我藏不住你，我藏不住你，担心被别人注意。She's so versatile。
球，像个明星带着雷锋感到温暖。他的 spotlight， 他的美在在不言中，爱呀气让人不会动。淋巴被闪闪闪闪闪闪双眸，他们被闪闪闪闪闪闪双眸。当我见到他的时候，我的精神在绷紧。现场旁人，她是最美的风景，在夜里，她亮着，其实离我好几公里。再美的美丽，我都屏蔽当作空气。散发气质，不得不让我低头。看那次冰时，我口水多吞了几口。直视着她，白色肩带华夏，让人融化心目中蒙娜丽莎。根本藏不住你，我藏不住你，担心被别人注意。根本藏不住你，我藏不住你，担心被别人注意。She's so overdone on the spotlight， 跟她上就变得好球，像个明星带着雷锋感到温暖。她的 spotlight， 她的美在在不言中，爱呀气让人不会动。
带她出门让所有的人大吃一惊，路人反应都觉得我牵着女明星，有她在，就算是沙漠也变成市中心。这天才让这些男人树敌回到丛林。怎么可以真的我不用吃饭？没眼真的我的一举一动就像痴汉，去哪都一直看，美得那么自然，动作都不相关，只想带她。
She's so overdone on the spotlight， 跟她上就变得好球，像个明星带着雷锋感到温暖。她的 spotlight， 她的美在在不言中，爱呀气让人不会动。淋巴被闪闪闪闪闪闪双眸，他们被闪闪闪闪闪闪双眸。已经为了变得更好去掉锋芒，一不小心成了你的倾诉对象。电话约在从前约会的地方，要陪你唱歌吃饭我结账，保持优良习惯。你说最近过得还算幸福美满，喝了几杯唱了几段你却哭了，想去安慰却不知什么立场，听你说话看你哭湿头发，我得到了惩罚。
Let's talk about the Gnosis thing first, since it's fresh on my mind. Okay. So, Gnosis, what happens? DRX goes Ornn, Lucian, Maokai, right? So they go Ornn. I didn't tweet that I'm live. Do that. Lucian. Oh, my mouse is driving me nuts. Maokai. And then, what did Rogue go? Yuumi, Caitlyn, Sedge. I mean, Sedge should never be banned. That's just bad. Yuumi, and then Sedge. I also don't even think that you concede why you picked Kalista and draft towards the Azir, or you have to concede what Azir is really best at and draft towards the Kalista. When you make Azir become like an engagey type of champion or like a standoffy type of champion that isn't like doing what he just excels at, you're fundamentally making him just worse in draft. So it is such a mismatched pairing on R1 R2 where you can't be absolutely certain about the value that either champion will actually get in the entirety of the draft. So I think that when this is happening, it's already bad. Now, over the course of the last few days, I've talked to a lot of people about Heimerdinger's support, and obviously, I expect it will actually start popping up a lot more as Worlds does draw on. And I think there's a couple of answers to it, but I'm not sure how many people are capable of playing the answers, or some of them actually just require bot lane combinations, right? Which is like Seraphine Senna as a combo. Lux Seraphine would be another one that would be very good against Heimerdinger. Ezreal AD carry with like Ziggs support, I think would be another one, not Xerath. I think it's actually important that it be Ziggs support and not Xerath, because I think the two actually do function a little bit differently, even though they're both mages. And I think outside of that, Heimer's oppressiveness, especially when he's paired with certain AD carries, I think it's actually high enough that he is just winning a mass majority of lines. And I think that that's where a lot of the problem stems from. So in the Rogue game, what ends up happening here is that they go Rumble on R3. Now, the interesting thing about Rumble is I think that Rumble is actually totally looked over in just League of Legends in general right now. If you guys go to Rumble's match history, right? So if we go to patch history, we go to Rumble, right? So we click Rumble, we go to his patch history. Okay, let's pull this open really quick. One of the things that you'll immediately notice is that Rumble hasn't really had anything happen to him. He was taken out of the jungle because Riot changed the interaction with his heat. And they did that because Rumble was so prevalent like last year, right? Rumble jungle, everyone remembers that. But when you consider the durability patch and some other stuff that has ended up happening to him, Rumble's actually just in a pretty good spot. Rumble is a lane bully in a lot of lanes. He just is, or he goes even in a lot of lanes. And the durability patch really made some champions that are capable of doing that a lot better. Aatrox was one of those champions.
It's a genocide of the black race. Planned Parenthood was made
to
by
kill
Margaret
black babies.
Sanger,
Yeah, Margaret Sanger.
Eugenics.
Yeah.
He put a text to me today. He said, "White lives matter." Ha ha ha.
I look at Kanye West like the same way that I would view like Kyle Rittenhouse. If you lack the ability to critically engage with people who disagree with you, then the only people that are going to critically engage with them are going to be people that you fucking hate. Something that Kanye West has been talking about for a long time is the idea that we are mentally enslaved to capitalism and society, that we're slaves to appearance, whether that's him having money, we're slaves to political parties, whether that's black people having to vote a certain way. Tucker Carlson is just putting this guy on stage who's probably mentally unwell, and then is having him divulge all of these like pretty not thought out like conservative takes, on his ex-wife, making weird claims he doesn't even have all the facts or information on, and he's kind of just there kind of like, oh yeah.
West gave us his assessment of Barack Obama, whom he knows well and has known well for many years, even before he became president. Here's what he said.
Yay.
There's a group mob, liberal Nazis, that will go up and attack you.
So these are people who are attacking you for your t-shirt.
Well, it was a setup. It started off as them having this black girl comment and say, well, I felt traumatized when I saw this t-shirt. It's like this, a black girl saying, I felt traumatized when I saw a black man wearing something that he wasn't allowed to wear. It's like in Django when Jamie Foxx is on top of a horse and Samuel Jackson's like,
oh man,
you know, that black guy's not supposed to be on top of the horse. Okay, and then
just like that.
Hey, I don't like your boots. I know Anna Wintour doesn't like your boots, and you're not a fashion person. And then people started to say I was a bully, but it was a setup. And they finally got it, right? Because I eliminated the BLM officer at Adidas. And then I got out of the Gap deal. And just one by one, I've been winning these battles, right? And they thought they had me. They had the idea that Ye was bullying, what I think the liberal term is a body goes black woman. Now let's talk about Gabby and my good friend Lizzo. Lizzo works with my trainer, a friend of mine.
Dude, he's like
Harley Pasternak. Harley Pasternak. When Lizzo loses 10 pounds and announces it, the bots, that's a term for
the bots.
People like, it's like telemarketer callers, like on Instagram, they attack her for losing weight because the media wants to put out a perception that being overweight is the new goal.
I think Kanye legitimately has like some kind of mental stuff going on, but he's always been like that. But it's like, if you're an artist, it's okay.
When it's actually unhealthy. Yes. Let's get aside the fact of whether it's fashion and Vogue, which is not. Let's just, or if someone thinks it's attractive, to each his own. It's actually clinically unhealthy. And for people to promote that, it's demonic.
Is he confirmed to be bipolar? Yeah, he might be bipolar. It wouldn't surprise me. Apparently, was talking about he's autistic too, though. 1,000,000%. He's more than just bipolar. He's ultra autistic. Okay.
No.
Now there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. I've noticed this also.
Yeah.
Population.
It's a genocide of the black race. They want to kill us in any way they can. Planned Parenthood was made
to
by
kill
Margaret
black babies.
Sanger,
Yep, Margaret Sanger.
Eugenics.
Yep.
With the KKK, and I believe that if we saw ourselves as a people and not a race, then we would treat our people better. Like if you go to a Jewish person and you say a race, it almost gets confusing. They'll cut you off quickly and say, we're not a race, we're a people. Well, our people are supposed to just say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Okay, well, what about, do you own the land that you're living in? Do you own, is the contract even in a language that's even possibly understandable?
Right.
You know, for your heritage, you know, and in America, we as blacks will like down each other on how good we speak, but we're speaking English. There's nothing whiter than English. We're not in our native tongue, actually. So we judge each other.
What even is your native tongue? What does that mean?
White
Mate.
goal lines, not based on exactly what our culture is based on. You know, every day we've been killing each other in the streets every day. One of the amazing things with Mayor Suarez is the murder rate has gone down. And yeah, I mean, you set that question up. You have more information about about what happened in the hospitals. So, in all honesty, I don't have the most facts, as many facts.
No, I mean in your life, like
so I might have
the
deflected.
COVID vaccine, the being stuck inside. Like, what did you think of all that?
I was vaccinated. It was interesting. A friend of mine told me that.
Okay. Okay, where's the clip everyone's throwing out over that you want me to watch about Jewish kids or whatever?
Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK to control the Jew population. When I say Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, the blood of Christ, who the race, the people known as the race black really are. This is who our people are, the blood of Christ. This, as a Christian, is my belief. And I believe that if we saw ourselves as more...
Okay, thank you. All right, is this the full interview?
So you just came from Paris Fashion Week. You just landed, and you have a lanyard still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point, that 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's response to that. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office, and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I liked Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. You know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, he thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like as if you asked like Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin, she was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that working. This whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy, and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stay quiet about it.
What if they?
I want to answer the white. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha," and I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, Dad, why do you think it was funny? He said, just a black man stating the obvious.
And she's like, if the left just would stop engaging with dog whistles, then they don't work anymore, right? Imagine with the 4chan campaign, it's okay to be white. Imagine if some conservative strolls in with a shirt and he's in a college campus and everybody sees him with his it's okay to be white shirt. Nobody really cares, nobody's looking, and he walks up and says like, hey, what's up? Like, oh, you say Black Lives Matter? I think it's okay to be white. And somebody looks at him and they're like, yeah, sure, yeah, it's fine to be white, dude. It's like cringe as fuck. The dude's like, okay, well, I just want you to, like, it's cringe. But instead, people see that it's okay to be white shirt and they start fighting with the dog whistle. By definition, it's called a dog whistle because it's not accurately resembling what's being said. And when you attack the dog whistle, now you look fucking unhinged. And now you got whole campaigns people saying, it's okay to be white. That's a white supremacist slogan. Wait, how the fuck is saying it's okay to be white a white supremacist slogan? Well, we can say it's okay to be black, it's okay to be Asian. How does that even make sense? And now you're in a world where you're not even boxing with shadows, you're boxing with brick walls, and you look crazy.
And, you know, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas, and he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him, because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal, and my dad would see certain things and say, you know, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, you know, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire
Kim Kardashian
with
and everything
4
now,
black
or?
children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her. So I know you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt White Lives Matter, it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that's my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, you know, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so, and I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few.
Who did this to Kanye? So again, I look at Kanye West like the same way that I would view like Kyle Rittenhouse. And people keep acting like, why does this happen over and over and over and over and over again? But like, if you lack the ability to critically engage with people who disagree with you, then the only people that are going to critically engage with them are going to be people that you fucking hate. And that's probably essentially what's happening, right? Is that Kanye West has been metaphorically chased off the plantation, right? Is what Candace Owens would say. Where people on the left basically just like light him up all the time for the crazy shit he says. And he does say a lot of crazy shit. Kind of. Most of the shit that he says isn't actually as crazy as people say, though. Usually it's just clip chipping him, or it's them not being willing to understand a monstrously autistic person and the thing they're trying to get out. But like, yeah, when that happens over and over and over and over again, like Kyle Rittenhouse runs to the Proud Boys and people on the far right, Kanye West will run to Tucker Carlson or people that he feels like will listen to him, because he probably feels pretty unheard by a lot of people on the left. So then he comes away with this viewpoint of him, which isn't entirely unreasonable, right? I've said this over and over again, but like, I remember that one thing that he got lit up with hardcore a long time ago was that it was that quote when he was in that office and he said like slavery is a choice. Anybody that actually listened to the entire thing that he was saying, it was pretty obvious what he was getting across, and it's not even controversial. Like tons of people have echoed the same thing. What did J. Cole in that one song, these shackles be locking away the mental more than the physical or whatever, right? Like the idea that like slavery isn't just like you're in chains, but like mentally you get enslaved too. Like it wasn't even a controversial statement, but that got clip chimped so hard. And I think, I want to say even was Trevor Noah even saying it on the Tonight Show? Was he even saying things like Kanye West was saying that people chose to be slaves? It was like, there was so much dumb shit. There was so much stupid shit that people ran off with that Kanye quote. I was like, guys, at least engage with what he's saying. But yeah, I mean, if you do that enough, now he's on some fucking, like, it sounds like he's on some fucking Nation of Islam shit or some Black Israelite, Black Hebrew shit, which who the fuck knows what he's going to be talking about now, you know? But
and he would be discriminated against.
here's the slave one.
I was drugged the out, bro. I was drugged out.
What you're about to see comes with a warning.
Everyone listen to this, please. 2 days before I was in the hospital.
You are a Kanye simp, Destiny is being too smart for Kanye. He doesn't mean any of this. No, this is pretty clearly what Kanye meant.
I was on opioids. I was addicted to opioids.
No, it's not especially graphic or obscene. It's just all very Kanye.
Do you feel that I'm feeling, do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
In fact, maybe the most Kanye thing since...
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Or...
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Milkers.
Today, Wes was sharing his love for a different president on TMZ.
I just love Trump. That's my boy. Like,
but that was just the tip of the iceberg from an interview that will surely be talked about for years.
I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all. I got liposuction because I didn't want y'all to call me fat like y'all called Rob at the wedding and made him fly home before me and Kim got married. I didn't want y'all to call me fat, so I got liposuction.
Plastic surgery, he says, that came with a prescription for painkillers that was followed by addiction, then that 2016 breakdown.
Rescue 41, psychiatric emergency.
I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills you think I was given? 7.
Then there was that thing Wes said about slavery.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
That was the comment that crossed the line for at least one TMZ staffer.
We have to deal with the marginalization that's come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. And brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
Yeah, people are pointing out, I didn't even remember how old it was. That New Slave song is literally like fucking 10 years old at this point. Like, he did not mean that in a mentally slaved way. He absolutely did. Can somebody find the full... Wait, hold on. Let's flip it. Do you think he meant that people just wanted to be slaves? Or find me the full...
I read it, it said the Crips are gonna beat Kanye up when they see him, and I was like, ah, that's so dope. They love me. That's like my brother. Your brother beat you up. Like, man, you getting out of line, bro. You tripping. I'm gonna beat you up. I was like, ah, man, that's love, man. Daz love me, and I love Daz, and
So you're not taking this seriously? That's how you took it when you saw the video of Daz saying...
Oh, you could live through an ass whooping. You ain't gonna live through, you know, what I think that they're probably the idea is to beat sense into me. But, you know, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race.
Like, you can say that he's horrible at expressing himself or that he, like, lends himself to clip chimping, but it's pretty obvious what he's talking about. He's not saying, like, oh, we chose to be slaves because we're happy about being slaves. Like, it's super obvious what the original context was. I don't even know how many of you guys knew about this original interview. If you just heard, like, the clip chimping of Kanye on this. But, like, if you go back and listen to it, like, it's pretty obvious what he's talking about.
That we're the human race. We're human beings and stuff. And then eventually, you know...
Can I go back to something you just said? Because I don't want to let it pass. You said that slavery was around for 400 years. At a point, it becomes a choice?
Yeah, right now, we're choosing to be enslaved. We're like, okay, so Ebro, I FaceTime him, and I'm there with Candace, right? And Ebro starts bringing up his version of facts, right? And Candace has facts. She's researched, right? Candace Owens has facts. She's researched. And then Candace just pulls out her Jedi lightsaber and just, chops Ebro's head off with facts. The Ebro face.
What is the extension of what he's saying? So if black people choose not to be slaves, what happens in 400 years? What? Oh God, I hate that I have to play Kanye interpreter. Do you understand what Kanye means? Or you understand what he means? Would you agree? Yeah, of course. Something that Kanye has been on, he did it in that interview with Sway at the breakfast shit and the $100 t-shirts. Something that Kanye West has been talking about for a long time is the idea that we are mentally enslaved to capitalism and society, that we're slaves to appearance, whether that's him selling shirts, whether that's him having money. We're slaves to political parties, whether that's black people having to vote a certain way or be a certain thing, whether we're slaves to the entertainment industry. You have to make a certain type of music. You got to be a certain type of way. Like, this is stuff that like Kanye has talked about for his entire career. But now that it, like, I say now, but like as of 5 or 6 years ago, it became a little bit more politically relevant. Now people got like ultra triggered about it. But he's been like pretty consistently like harping on this for a long fucking time. Like, it's pretty obvious what he's been talking about the entire time.
Times me the next day, and he's talking about the scoop and poop. He wants to talk about music now. I said, yo, you gonna have Candace on your show? He's like, no, I'm not. She's mean. So you're gonna stifle her voice, Ebro. You're choosing to enslave people's minds. You're choosing to not let the truth be free.
Can I give you my translation of what happened last week and tell me if it's right?
Okay.
The way I see it, you don't necessarily...
But he's talking about actual slaves too, though. Yeah, but that's the thing too. Even actual slaves at some point become mentally enslaved. That's kind of what's required for, to some extent, to maintain slavery, right? It's not usually like you have a society of 100 people that have one slave between them all, right? Usually plantation owners will be outnumbered by those slaves a ton. But at some point, you like there's like an institution or there's a system of slavery that kind of enforces that hierarchy in all of society, and people just kind of accept it, and it's just kind of like the way of life. Like, there's a mental aspect to it that goes beyond just like the physical enslavement constantly. There's that, I don't know if it was Mr. Girl that brought it up or somebody else that brought it up. There's like, this is incredibly fucking edgy, but like most slaves that lived in the in American history probably weren't like whipped or treated fucking horribly, right? Like, most slaves probably did okay insofar as being in slavery, but because they live in part of a system where there's like a pretty rigid hierarchy that's enforced on everybody, the idea of like revolting or breaking out or doing it doesn't even really occur to you, because this is the way that life is. There's a form of like mental enslavement there. And then Kanye carries us over to like capitalism and shit too, where we're all like mentally enslaved by certain products in society. We're mentally enslaved to these different types of like systems that keep us buying $100 t-shirts or Yeezy shoes or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Passive resignation is the term, sure.
Endorse, embrace the views of Donald Trump as much as you want to show people that they shouldn't be intimidated from showing their true feelings, expressing themselves freely, and that the hat is...
But, okay.
It's because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is. Yeah. So it's the opposite of where everyone else was clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the school suggested like the herding systems, because
I see what you're saying now, but it definitely wasn't obvious to the average person. Well, that's because the average person didn't hear what Kanye West was saying when he was speaking. They heard like the 15-second, like highly edited clip, like drawing from a particular time point to show what he was saying. That's the issue, right? Like,
what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. because, you know, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children. And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, you know, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. You know, there's so many things that are put in Kim's head. You know, they bring influencers, like no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from.
Now I'm speaking a little bit out of turn because I don't 100% know the story, but like I think that like Kanye is actually like mentally ill when it comes to Kim, his wife, Kim Kardashian, or his ex-wife, and the fact that they just kind of like uncritically kind of just platform all of this and let him kind of ramble on Kim and all this shit is a little bit fucked up in my opinion.
These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable.
Destiny, you probably couldn't name 5 Kanye albums. Why are you simping? He ain't gonna see this, little bro. I can. First of all, it's funny that you're challenging me to name every single Kanye album because he's only released 5. But I absolutely could.
And
nice try, Bucko.
Is for people.
This guy, look at this guy in chat, doesn't know that 95% of Kanye West fans are white.
People that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department.
You won't? Kanye West released 5 albums. It was Late Registration, College Dropout, 808s and Heartbreaks, My Beautiful Black Dark Twisted Fantasy. Fuck, there's too many adjectives that. Late Registration, Graduation, 808s. Late Registration, College Dropout, Graduation. Yeah, those 5, right? I think we had them all. And then anything past My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, it doesn't count. Those aren't real Kanye albums.
Chicago State University. or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, you know, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens, or it's not that we have to agree with this, but
they're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state what their opinion is.
Yes.
No one is God, and everyone has an opinion.
So a conversation like this is a window into a world that you don't see. So if you're familiar with West from the media, you think of him as an individual man. What you don't think about is that he is at the center of a battle, and people like him are at the center of a battle to get a message out. Mouthed by the lips of influencers like him and so many others, that extends a storyline on behalf of, well, in this case, the status quo. So there are a lot of people vying to make certain that people like him say the right things, and the consequences for not doing that are very severe.
Bro.
So for him to come out and say all lives matter, obviously, is a huge threat to a lot of people. Who are those people exactly? Well, we asked him, and he told us. That's next.
How do you think someone would responsibly platform Kanye, especially when he starts schizo posting like this? It seems weird for Carlson to challenge Kanye on what he... The problem is, this is going to sound really cringe, but the problem is, if you're going to bring Kanye West and challenge him, you have to confront him. This is going to be so cringe. But you have to confront him artistically, and you have to meet him in kind of like his world of like autistic allegory and metaphor. You can't do it on these hardcore like political grounds where you're like, well, when you said this, the political implication that you support Donald Trump, blah 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 blah. Like he's not, his brain isn't working on that like political world. He's working in this more like metaphorical, artistic kind of world where he's drawing these associations between time and history and art and blah blah blah. It's a different kind of conversation. It's a totally different style of conversation you'd have to have with him, I think. But most people that try to get him are usually trying to hardcore get him on like these political types of analyses where he's just not really thinking at that. He's just not in that world. It's not what he cares about.
It was interesting. A friend of mine told me that Chris and Kim had called him because he had influence inside of the black community.
Jesus.
And had called him to say, to get him to influence people to take the vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have opinion on that. I just want to state that as a flat statement. But it was wild that I didn't know how close my own wife was to the Clintons. I didn't know, you know.
Okay, Kim Kardashian is an actual literal billionaire, isn't she? My guess is going to be she's probably has some type of relationship with almost every other influential person in the United States. Right? Like, that would be my guess, is that most billionaires have some type of relationship with other highly influential political people, highly influential like financial people. Oh yeah, also that too. Kanye West is literally in this picture. Wait, what? How did you not know? What? You're right there. This is like some Project Veritas shit. If it was Project Veritas, they would have tried to censor the person in the back.
I didn't realize it at the time.
That you were married to her?
And well, I was married to her.
How close was she to the Clintons?
I mean, cell phone away, like, or hey, tell Ye to say this away, or hey, go out and use your platform to push the vaccination away. I mean, not away, but like take the away part, but
Do you feel like at times you were manipulated by political forces through your wife?
Attempt manipulation. But yes, there was some manipulation. Me not saying I like Trump was a form of a manipulation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why did you like him, by the way? You said you liked him early, like you saw him.
I mean,
he said what needed to be said. He was real, you know?
I keep telling this joke. If people say Trump was the first black president, I'm gonna be the first Latino president, because all the values, the conservative values just line up. Come on, man, Trump's the What do you mean? He has his own buildings. What are you talking about? He's like, like Ralph Lauren. Yeah, he made Ivanka.
You like Ivanka?
Oh, wait, I could be totally wrong. Wasn't Ivanka like a pretty successful person in the fashion world before ever having anything to do with Trump? I thought that was one of the reasons why, because she was already like almost a quasi-celebrity beforehand, no? Am I wrong on that? She was a high-up model? Oh, okay, maybe she didn't have like a business stuff yet, but...
Ivanka.
Yeah.
You wrote a post on Instagram about her husband today.
Oh, wrong person? Oh, fuck. Ivanka is his daughter, Ivana is his... Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you know, I had a dinner with Ivanka, Jared, and Josh. And a couple days later, I found out that Josh Kushner had 10% of Skims, which is a line that I had developed with Kim. And I had a lot of issues with the imagery of Skims. I felt like there was a lot of imagery that was overly sexualized and things that I wouldn't want to see my wife and definitely not my daughters doing in the future in order to sell product. But it reaches another level when it's like, okay, well, this is what my wife is doing, and this is what they're doing for, this is what she's doing for our children.
Oh, I think he meant literally, like Trump literally made Ivanka. Oh, okay, maybe.
But it reaches another level when her business partners are selling pieces of company that they don't have to, because the company's already so successful and it's an internet-based company. So it's like they're really just selling off the company in order to create more relationships for themselves that are unneeded. It's like when I went to the Gap and with our release, they just like, they shoveled it out. I'm very cautious with my words. I'm really big on being able to have an adult conversation in front of the children. So I don't use explicit language in interviews especially. So I found out after this dinner that Josh Kushner had 10% of Skims and I had 5% of Skims. And regardless if, you know, Josh Kushner figured out how to put $150 million, I'm sure it wasn't out of his own account, but $150 million, and I'm sure Jared still has a piece of that fund. Regardless of them putting that money in, for me to have been an owner in it and not known, just from a place as a creative where Skims is so based on a lot of the Yeezy ideas, then it's based on all of the relationships in fashion, because I had to use my relationships in fashion in order to establish Kim in a way where fashionable people would say, hey, I'm down to wear Kim's line. And these VCs, they come in and they get a piece of it after the fact, and they run around and say they have ownership in it. So as I put on my Instagram, which, you know, luckily for everyone, they could just write it off that, you know, I'm crazy until they see my disposition in this interview, and then it's gonna get scary. I said, hey Josh, what if I had 10% of Karlie Kloss's lingerie shapewear swimsuit line, and you have 5% of it, and you didn't know? How would that make you feel?
I mean, I'm sure it's all publicly available filings and shit, right?
After talking to them and really sitting with Jared and sitting with Josh and finding out other pieces of information, I was like, wow, these guys might have really been holding Trump back and being very much a handler right then. They love to just look at me or look at Trump like we're so crazy and that they're the businessmen. So when I think about all of these things,
I mean, that's Trump is a businessman,
Jared,
literally,
you know,
right? Like
somehow doesn't get enough credit for with his work. And what is it? His work in Israel or his work in Palestine? What is this? You know where he made these peace treaties? Where was that? Do you know the facts on this right here? So I'm like,
well, I think that was between Israel and some of the Arab nations.
I just think it was to make money.
Wow, so insightful.
Is that too heavy-handed to put on this platform?
No, that's
we make accusations like that all the time.
Okay, thank you. And I just think that that's what they're about, is making money. I don't think that they have the ability to make anything on their own. I think they were born into money.
So there's a phenomenon here. There's a lot of racism on like both sides. In a way, I'm racist by implying it. In another way, Tucker's racist by doing it. In another way, Kanye's racist by participating in it. There's definitely like the feeling I get in this interview, and I guess it's not really fair to ascribe to Kanye because I'm not treating Kanye as an individual. I'm treating him as a black person, and I'm having him stand as a representative for a black person. But there's definitely like the weird like Uncle Tom vibe where you have like Tucker Carlson is just putting this guy on stage who's probably mentally unwell, and then is having him divulge all of these like pretty not thought out like conservative takes, shitting on his ex-wife, making weird claims that he doesn't even have all the facts or information on, and he's kind of just there kind of like, oh yeah, like goading like, oh dude, you say whatever you want or whatever, and you know that it's like working in a certain way for him. Now it's not really fair to say that like Kanye can't do this because he's black, or there's a different standard that he's held to because he's black, but I mean in a way it kind of is true, but like I don't know. Oof, Jesus. Keep going.
Money, and for me as a maverick and a talent and a person that's been, you know, beat, kicked, lost everything, sad to have lost my mind, went from pull myself up by my boots don't have straps on them, but I say pull myself up from my boots to becoming a multi-billionaire that gets the price every year of my net worth goes down every year on Forbes. They just keep on slowly just taking it down every year. It's like really a weird thing. But as a person that has really built something from nothing, when I sit across the table from a Josh Kushner and he just feels so entitled to that idea, and this person has never brought anything of value.
Do conservatives like Kushner now, or do they hate him now?
So-called being a good venture capitalist, I have a major issue with that, and it makes me feel like they weren't serving my boy Trump the way we could have, because, you know,
depends.
Trump wanted nothing but the best for this country, and it doesn't, like, Moses stuttered. And saying God is not always going to bring the most perfect personality. A lot of times, the most fake people, their job is talking and making people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and the realest people are going to make you feel uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, that's not shallow. And it's also not crazy. It's true, whether you agree with it or not. So, West has thought a lot of...
I will say, though, this is where that idea of Gideon and Abba kind of expressed it before. For as much as you might want to say that, like, conservatives will kind of use Kanye as like an Uncle Tom or whatever, and you can say, like, oh, well, it's clearly racist what they're doing. You can argue that it's a response to like liberals or progressives especially also treating black people the same way in another sense, right? Where like a conservative will be like, oh, you're a black guy with a certain political view, I want you to speak as loudly as you can. But liberals, on the other hand, will say like, oh, you're a black guy with a certain political view, I need you to shut the fuck up, right? So I guess in a way it's kind of, is there like an opposite to like an Uncle Tom where it's like you have a certain political view and I don't want to hear it ever because I want you to be the opposite of it? Is there like a, there's got to be like a flip side. There's got to be a flip side term for that. But yeah, I mean, I guess it all kind of like plays into.
People with power try to make other people feel like they don't have any. My power is through God. So if someone ever says anything like, oh, you did a great job, it's praise God. It's funny, atheists love the term narcissist.
Atheists?
When you believe in yourself.
Right.
They say that it's narcissistic. You know, I love the dynamic of how you compare, you show that there's still humanity even with the position that God has placed me in. Why did Moses smite the rock? Why did he get that frustrated? And just to be able to be gentle, to be more gentle. You know, God is alive. Look at this right here. Look at how quiet it is right now. It's only God. God is of order. The devil is of chaos.
That's true.
You know, we are. I wanna talk about my potential run for 2024 and Trump's potential run for 2024.
Does he sound mentally unwell, or am I the schizo? The issue, and this is, I don't know if I'm like the autism whisperer or something, but like you can tell what Kanye is usually getting at. He just has like a way of speaking that like you kind of have to play. You kind of have to go around. Like here's like what a normal person would say. A normal person would say something like, "I think my sister is prone to lying, because she's been spoiled too much and she doesn't get punished for it. I think my sister's prone to lying, because she's been spoiled and she doesn't get punished for anything." That might be a sentence that a normal person would say, but the way that Kanye West would say it is like, when spirits roam the earth, and you know that like evil is the absence of God, and when God's not there to keep people in check, and when we let atheism take over society and people aren't held accountable for any of their actions, they act evil, not because they're evil people, but because they're literally godless. And I think that these people have no accountability, and God is not there. And when Eve ate the apple, it was in the presence of the devil, and God literally wasn't there. Like this is like how he talks. This is how he says everything. But like if you dig through what he's actually saying, usually you understand. It's like, okay, I know what you're getting at. Like I feel like I understand most of what he says, but you kind of have to go like swimming through his mind a little bit to kind of like pick out the pieces of like, okay, I understand what's going on. Yeah, and then you have to throw in like a movie reference or two. Yeah.
And the beloved DeSantis potential run for 2024, and Mayor Suarez potential run for 2024. And, you know, they thought Trump was a joke. For older white people, by the fact that we're black, even Trump, a person that's, you know, we'd consider to be a friend of mine, when I went to the White House, I called him after that to get A$AP Rocky out of jail. And one of the things he said to me is, you know, Kanye, you're my friend. When you came to the White House, my black approval rating went up 40%.
Why would you say
and
that?
For politicians, all black people are worth is an approval rating. The Democrats feel that they don't owe us anything, and Republicans feel that they don't owe us anything. Blacks have never demanded
Is Tucker gonna push back here?
For our vote. And that's something I talked to Ice Cube about. What are we asking for? How do we change our life? If all of our organizations and all of our colleges and even our title as black was made by white people, all of our jobs, and Black Wall Street, Harlem after gentrification, there's never been a fully black-owned community where we have all the municipalities, things that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about. We need that. It's like 90% of America is not even developed. I'm not one of the people that go up and say, hey, I want to stop anybody from making money. The people that make money and the powers that be, I am your true Nikola Tesla. And I'm not even a scientist.
What do you think of Elon Musk? Do you know him?
Very well.
What's your take on him?
You said that because I said Tesla?
I did, yeah. It's just the first thing that popped.
And that everyone's always like, oh, Elon's got these answers. I think he's a great team player.
It's amazing what the stakes are when a very famous person decides to speak his mind. Very famous people can't have free speech. That's not allowed. And West discovered that when he initially decided he kind of liked Donald Trump. Watch.
Watch.
I never actually told people that I liked Trump when he was running because I was bullied by Hollywood. Because I stayed in Hollywood and people were like, think about your kids, and I'm trying to hold on to the marriage, so I'm just biting my tongue. Like, there's so many fathers and mothers that go to work every day and they're in a situation where they're biting their tongue because they think it will be better for their children. That's right. So even me in my position, I was biting my tongue on my political opinion because I thought it would be better for my children.
We've got a lot more on that and what it did to him as a man living through it tomorrow night. But first, our friend Jason Whitlock, the host of Fearless, joins us to assess what we just saw. Jason, what did you think of that?
Tucker, I thought a lot of things, and forgive me for doing this, but I'm going to unpack all of this on my show tomorrow. Find me at youtube.com/Jason Whitlock.
Ooh,
but listen,
enemy plug.
That's a man wrestling with his faith in God and wrestling with the fame that makes him money and makes him rich.
Right.
And so throughout that interview tonight, I heard a guy that's a devout Christian, and I heard a guy that is cursed with the disease of fame. It's undermined his ability to be a good father. It's undermined his ability to be a good husband. It's undermined his happiness. He wants to be a Christian, and the things he said about his faith and just wearing the lanyard with the ultrasound, all of that. I love that about Kanye West. It scares the heck out of the left to see someone like Kanye West, that popular, that influential, his skin color, that has those Christian values, because that's what's really under attack, his Christian values. It scares them. They don't want him to survive. They're using him. I'm going to make an analogy. Kunta Kinte and Roots. They got him out on a tree and they're whipping him. What's your name? And they want him to say left-wing liberal, and he won't say it.
Wait,
he
what?
keeps saying, I like Trump.
What is this reference?
I like God. I'm a Christian. And they keep whipping and slashing him, and they're trying to make this man bow down to the liberal orthodoxy, and they're doing it as a message to me and everybody
From
else.
Roots, the
if
movie.
you don't
Okay,
get
gotcha.
in line with what we want you to think, every black man, every heterosexual black man, every black man with Christian values, we will beat you into a pulp.
Nope.
Kanye's man enough to stand up. I wish more men were.
What does that do to you to discover that you can be one of the richest, most famous people in the world and you still don't have the simple right to say what you really think?
What it does to Kanye is make him realize the importance of God and his faith, because that's the only protection you have. Again, the guy used the words that I believe. This is demonic. Everything the left preaches to black people, you should be overweight. You should kill your babies in the womb. You should embrace a negative culture that teaches you to kill each other and disrespect each other.
It's a reference to this.
Your name is Toby.
Oh. Wait, I feel like I have seen this before.
I said your name is Toby.
Kunta Kinte.
Wait, so this is a reference to another movie. I haven't seen that Roots movie before. I have no idea. This is not Roots? No, but I've seen it.
Steve, what I say about hitting so hard, man?
I'm sorry, are you all right?
You sorry? I'm gonna show you sorry, man. I'm gonna show you.
It's a death
TV
culture.
series,
It's a
gotcha.
genocide. It's demonic, just like Kanye West said. I hope he wins his battle with fame, because if he does, he's a very important voice, Tucker.
How can you say you respect someone or a group of people if you don't allow them to reach their own conclusions about
Wait.
More people end up retarded than rich.
I mean, true? Am I supposed to disagree with him there? Sorry.
And what he said is, you are a celebrity. So basically what's gonna happen is there's product here. And this is where you end up, right here. If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
That reminds me of when
And what he said is, you
fuck, what's the name of the guy? What's the name of the band? I'm a bee. Oh my god, from my teenage years. What am I thinking of? What's the name of the band? What's the name of the black guy? Is it will.i.am? Oh yeah, when they brought him on as like the creative director of like Intel. This was so awkward to watch. Like,
will.i.am of the group Black Eyed Peas was named Intel's new Director of Creative Innovation on Tuesday. The musician will work with Intel on developing new technologies, music, and in technology advocacy.
I Gotta Fill In, Boom Boom Pals, all these songs that travel around the world. Before people hear them, they're made with Intel chips.
Intel isn't alone in naming a musician to a creative director position. Last year, Polaroid bestowed the same title on Lady Gaga, and at this month's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, she presented the first fruits of her collaboration.
So, among many other things, West gave us his assessment of Barack Obama, whom he knows well and has known well for many years, even before he became president. Here's what he said. Do you talk to Obama still?
I was Obama's favorite artist. He actually met with me. Obama met with me and my mama to say that he was running for office back in 2008. And that he wanted the support. And everybody was so into this idea of the black president.
I didn't even make these. I'm so stupid.
And you were always cool. And it's also like, you know, how many of us are there? You know, Obama level, Ye level, you know, Virgil level, just black, you know, so brilliant that we cut through all of the lines of racism. Like, you just can't get rid of us. Nat King Cole level, Dave Chappelle level. So in some place we'd have to be friends and get along, because it's like, yo, you're at that level. You're like a, you know, Formula One Lewis Hamilton race car driver. We're still driving a white car, but we're the best race car drivers that ever existed. And that was me and Obama's connection. But soon as I wasn't saying the things that I was supposed to say as a rapper, our connection faded.
So you don't talk to him anymore?
I'll talk to him if I see him.
Yep.
I guarantee you he see me. I don't even know the man. I just thought that sounded cool. One idea that was in my head about 3 minutes ago that I really want to say is that's really interesting about the when companies get the BLM managers.
What's a BLM manager?
Black Lives Matter office manager. It's basically you get a semi-influential black person to become the face of a white company.
Yeah.
Right, so that means like in the design world, in the art world, they actually would pick artists that were less talented than other artists based on their influence, not based on their actual work, because everyone is vying for influence and an opinion.
Oh, I did do this.
Everyone is afraid of losing their opinion. So with Nike, right? Nike is as famous as, you say Nike's more famous than PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Right. What number company do you think PayPal is?
I don't know.
Number 4.
Overall?
Overall. You got...
Wait, what? Is PayPal even publicly traded? It is. Number 4 what though? Almost $100 billion company. By what metric? 10 most value. It's not even. No way is it top 10. It's not by market cap. Is it maybe top 100? I wonder what he's saying top, like rank for it. I have no idea. Okay.
Well, you know what the number one is, right? It's Apple.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting number 2, but number 3 is
Facebook,
McDonald's. Then.
Wait, what? What is he? What? He must have some list of like brand recognition or something. It's got to be something like that. I don't know.
SpaceX is maybe 6 or 7.
What?
It's really interesting that as lit as Elon is, his previous company is actually still worth more than Space.
What ranking is he talking about? This ninja is just saying stuff. None of this is true. Yeah. The made the fuck up list. Wake up, babe. New tier list just dropped. I wonder what he's talking about.
SpaceX. So, what number company do you think Nike is? The Nike.
Going by your rating system, Kanye?
Number 321. It's not there to be as big a financial company as it can be. It's there as an influencer because black people love Nike. So Nike is like a company that is redlining and gerrymandering black people. So the reason why Gap wanted me to go to Gap, it wasn't based on, oh, we need to get our stocks up. You know, it's like these companies, when they've been around for a long time, Gap's not like, they're like, we're in the rag trade. We're never going to be Apple. And everyone, all of these American companies somehow took this deal where they start putting in these really awkward, weird number kind of CEOs. Like Nike's got one, the Gap had one.
Weird
it didn't
number
work out.
CEOs?
And there's all of these weird operators inside of companies, even in Balenciaga, you know. They're just there.
This is so sad. I don't mean to say it like this. When you put Kanye West in front of like a receptive person, it kind of reminds me of Nathan, where like, I don't know if, I'm sure every like 10 or 11-year-old is like this, but like, if Nathan starts talking about FNAF or whatever current thing he's like interested in, he'll just talk forever. Like, Dad, did you know that like this is this? Did you know that this YouTuber made this rap battle between Golden Freddy and blah, blah, blah? Dad, did you know? Oh, he called me the other day. He told me a FNAF movie is coming out. I want to see. Did you know the FNAF movie was made in the pizzeria, blah, blah, blah? And it's like, okay, I know. All right. Do you know that Springtrap does it? It's like, okay, yeah, if you say so. That's what Kanye West reminds me of. He's like a really excited young boy that is like getting to talk about all the stuff that he likes to talk about in front of somebody who's actually listening to him. Like, that's what it sounds like.
For control. Steve Jobs talked about it. It's the most important thing you can have is control. Look at me. All the money, all the influence, and I have to act a complete ass to have any say-so of anything that my children are doing because that group of people have control and say-so over all the children inside of the clan. So that's what these companies are set up for. That's the type of CEOs they're hiring, especially when the founders are out of there. They kind of just give the companies up to a bunch of people, and they're all in cahoots. Like anyone that ever worked with me, they just look at, oh, who's Ye farming for talent that we can hire to be our new BLM office manager. Like, kind of like Obama.
What do you think of Obama as a BLM office manager?
Uh-oh.
Best one ever. Yeah. Best one ever. And you know, I think Obama, just like Virgil, these people were truly black to their core and truly brilliant to their core.
But they went into situations thinking that they could do it the white way as a black man. And we saw what color Obama's hair was when he went in, and we saw what color it was when he went out. You know, Virgil lost all his hair, you know, and eventually passed away. So when I have techniques that are revolutionary, if I raise my voice, if I express myself on Instagram, it's a colonic. And people can say, oh, this is what you're doing is toxic. If what I'm saying is toxic, I gotta do everything to get it out of my body. And there'll be times where I see a level of like oppression, Parisian proper, like next level, you know, France owns 80% of African banks level colonization, oppression. And I'll be like, I'm not going to let you guys kill me. But one thing that has to really happen, say if Trump ran, right? We're not just gonna be black influence. We're gonna be vision and creativity. We've gotta rethink who we are as a species. Right now,
I'm so curious what does the average Fox News viewer think of this interview? I'm so curious.
Murder is legal in America, you know.
And abortion.
Yes. So whoever gets the position needs to listen to the vision. I didn't know it was gonna rhyme when I first started. They need to have Elon, they need to have me. You should start with those two, and then we'll get to the rest of them. We could pull in a Johnny Ives, we'll pull in all of our living, super brilliant people. And we need to analyze and not just sell out for the cash. Like these Fortune 500 companies, they're just selling out for the cash. And put God first, and the best representation of God is the children. The children is the extension of the family. Put the families first. There's so many things, suburbs. The train tracks being ripped up by GM just for capitalism. All these ideas that we have, we're now living in a place where we're the orphans of capitalism, and we just have to take a pause and rethink how we can have the most beautiful existence possible for our children, for the kids, and we're all kids. Yeah. We're all God's kids. We're all sons of Abraham. It drove me crazy to not be able to say that I like Trump. It drove, because think about it, it's me. Imagine me not being able to say what I wanted. What was the point of being famous? What was the point of having, you know, millions of people love your music? What was the point of having a voice if you can't even use your own voice and connect it to your own opinions? Yes. That's where the disconnect happened. That's where the, quote, I think wrongly diagnosed, that's where the bipolarity is. Because you got something you're thinking, but you're told you're not allowed to say it in public. Well, I never actually told people that I liked Trump when he was running because I was bullied by Hollywood. Because I stayed in Hollywood and people were like, think about your kids, and I'm trying to hold on to the marriage, so I'm just biting my tongue. Like there's so many fathers and mothers that go to work every day and they're in a situation where they're biting their tongue because they think it will be better for their children. That's right. So even me in my position, I was biting my tongue on my political opinion because I thought it would be better for my children. And now you look up and my kids are going to a school that teaches black kids a complicated Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa doesn't, you know, so they don't teach even Christmas itself, Christ Mass. They don't teach it at Sierra Canyon. And what they do is take all of the celebrities, the actors, the basketball players, and they throw them in this one school and they indoctrinate the kids. So my son saw him as brilliant. So right now, they're looking to figure out how to indoctrinate him to make him be another part of the system. I have a choir at my school, so right now, we've come to a compromise, but I'm not finished because I don't compromise, but we come to a compromise when my kids go to my school after school, and they learn choir. I sat there with my son, and he came and he said, why do I need to sing? I don't even go to your school. So imagine a 16-year-old version of that guy, the 26-year-old version of that guy, where the father doesn't have say-so of what the kids are watching, what the kids are wearing, what the kids are eating, who the kids are hanging out with. Ray Kurzweil said, we have the information needed to have a human utopia, but we're led by the least noble, most greedy people. There's a solution that can bring happiness to so many more people. I even had this idea about, the connection of Big Pharma to farms by having localized farms. With more localized farms, you can use less pesticides. If you have less pesticides, then you have less diseases.
I think this has been said a million times, just a heads up, like localized farming or whatever is like the worst possible fucking thing you can do for the environment. It's so fucking inefficient.
And have Big Pharma invest in the local farms, and they'll actually make more money. I'm not one of the people that go up and say, hey, I want to stop anybody from making money. The people that make money and the powers that be, I am your true Nikola Tesla. And I'm not even a scientist.
What do you think of Elon Musk? Do you know him?
Very well.
What's your take on him?
You said that because I said Tesla?
I did, yeah. It's just the first thing that popped.
And that everyone's always like, oh, Elon's got these answers. I think he's a great team player. Like I said about Ray Kurzweil and Utopia. In Rome, they would bring all the most brilliant people and have them sit down to the point where their seats had a toilet in them. Like, people would not even get up to use the bathroom. And they would ideate about what society needed. And they'd invent new things, and they'd put it all up on the wall. And Donda, before it was a school, is a design firm. And
wait, does he have a school called Donda?
Pull together all.
Wait, I didn't even realize this. Okay, I don't even know what's.
That's why I was happy that you saw two of the inventions right there. Because now it's like, if I had said that before you drank the coffee.
Donda Academy.
And some might joke and say you're drinking the Kool-Aid, but before you drank the coffee and before you saw the 3D printed boot, zero waste 3D printed boot, if I said Nikola Tesla, you'd probably.
I mean, this isn't necessarily a bad thing that he's doing choir. I don't know what this is, but all right. I don't know.
Did watching COVID and the medical establishment's response to COVID over 2 years change your view?
I mean, that was a piece of it. That was a piece of it.
What did you think of that?
I mean, well, specifically, I'm going to lean into the black condition, just for, being a black person. We've been getting killed in hospitals for years. Grandmama don't come out. We've been getting killed with our food to start off with. We've been getting killed by police officers, you know, every day. We've been killing each other.
Push back, Tucker.
In the streets,
don't let him slander our cops like
every
that.
day.
Tucker,
you know,
push back.
I felt like the people at the
Fox
Gap
News
knew about the school
audience is
shooting
screaming at their TV.
that Matthew McConaughey was talking about before it even happened. It was so in sync. The information.
This interview is truly
and then
amazing. I have never felt so much sympathy for Kim Kardashian. Yellow swag 42069, $20, nice.
Heard about it on the radio driving. I was like, am I in the Truman Show right now? And I tell Candace she's got to watch the Truman Show. You have to watch the Truman Show.
What do you mean the people at the Gap knew about the school shooting? I think in Uvalde, Texas?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they did, but it felt so in sync. This idea of like this media rush over the 78 specific outlets that influence. Meanwhile,
so there's a coordinated message. I think that's what you said.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's the same amount of kids getting killed in Chicago every week, but there's no coordinated message about that. Yeah. Have I reached Alex Jones territory yet?
No, I think you're telling the truth.
Okay.
And that's okay if you do.
What I'm saying is like, yeah, they keep on using the, oh, he's crazy thing. And it hurts my feelings when people say that. It hurts my feelings that people can ask me, hey, are you okay? Like, especially like just, I got an ego. Someone that's less successful than me having the right to ask me about me like they're a doctor. What, you want me to put some ice on it? You put some ice on my brain, it's gonna fix it? You know, everyone's got the solution. Yo, you put some ice on it. Do you know if that worked, we wouldn't need hospitals? We just have like ice dens for everything. And stuff. It's like, grandma's got cancer. Put some ice on the cancer. But you know, I'm like funnier than comedians, right? Like, and I'm like an ass.
But you get that. You get that a lot. People with the kind of faux sympathy. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's like, you know, don't.
Not like Tucker Carlson.
But you get
real
that even
sympathy.
as a famous person. You know, oh, go ahead. You know, go before me. This. Hey, what do you want? And like, it's hard for people to even listen to you. You know, they're just so like, oh my God, this is Ye. Did you hear what he said again? And there's a lot of people that have been put in my organization where it's their job to not listen to me.
In your own organization?
Absolutely. And that kind of thing can drive you what?
Crazy.
Yeah, I had my resolution this year was to only talk to people who listen to me.
Oh, damn. Remember in the beginning of this interview where I said it feels like Kanye West is just looking for somebody to hear him out because it feels like nobody on the left even will ever even listen to him. It's all like combative.
I know, crazy concept, right? I know, that's crazy.
How radically did that shrink the number of people you talk to?
Not enough. Not enough. Because that's how they do. They send the bots in. There's people working here. You know, it's like Prince had to constantly fire people. I got to constantly fire people. It's just all kind of people sitting around doing nothing, charging. I had 530 consultants last year.
For your businesses?
For my businesses. I didn't know. We just hire some guys in. And, you know, this is the issue when you hire atheists.
Jesus, what?
I think that's illegal to say in California, but, you know, sue me. This is the issue.
Look at Tony's
you know,
face.
because
he's like, I'm about to get gold.
God-fearing people perform for an audience of one. At the end of the day, we all know we have to answer to God.
Down to people who are trying to.
I'm not talking down to anybody. If you want,
I need to elevate my brainwaves and I need to mature.
I said you need to elevate your brainwaves because you're asking me for like one-word responses to pretty complicated questions.
It's not that complicated.
You asked me what would people rather do, and I would.
So what would you rather?
And the answer is people would rather do what they have the inclination to do. Followers would rather follow leaders without a lead. You're telling me that like your chat is full of people that want to be leaders, my chat are sheep that want to be followers. My question is, if you have so many leaders in your chat, why the fuck are they watching your stream at 9:30 EST on a Friday night?
Not leaders. It's that they want to.
And they're learning that here. They're not learning skills here to be leaders. Do you want me to tell you what? Do you want me to tell you what future leaders are doing?
Because what I'm saying is college is a scam. Bottom to top.
You want me to tell you what future leaders are doing right now? 18, 19-year-old future leaders?
What?
They're working on a project. They might be programmers. They're contributing to big repos online. They've got some like pet project that they're working on that they might have downloaded illegally fucking books to learn new programming languages for. That might be a guy that's a programmer. Other leaders might be people that are right now at a shop with their dad who owns a business, who's trying to pick up the tricks and trade of whatever the fuck they're doing. Those guys are leaders. There might be other people that are actually out hustling. And when I say hustling, I mean they're actually making the connections that they need to do, talking to the people they need to talk to. Yeah, they're out there doing shit. They're not watching videos online for like how to be a leader.
Destiny, would you call me a leader?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, of course.
Do you want to know how I got this information, how I learned this?
Sure.
From videos online, from watching people
You're
like
dead
Patrice
wrong.
O'Neal,
This is what you are the.
No, let me explain it before you go on another.
Okay, go ahead. Careful though, because you're
Patrice
so wrong.
O'Neal,
But go for it.
Stand-up comedians. I was inspired by people who knew more than me, who got there on their own. I listened to life stories, I listened to information, and then I applied myself. Just because they're on here watching this, because a lot of people watch myself every single day. They're not watching it all. They're not spending all. I tell them to get off the shit too. Don't watch this chronically and think that you're progressing.
When did
in life.
when did you start watching Patrice O'Neal?
When I was like 15, 16, I started watching Bill Burr when I was like 10, Louis C.K. when I was like 9.
Okay,
all these
Louis C.K. and Bill Burr are not giving you life. I don't know how much Patrice O'Neal gives, but like
yes, he did. Cult of Black Phillip was in like a men's health podcast.
None of these people are why you're successful. Okay, I'm gonna.
How are you gonna tell me how?
Because I know why you were successful. Because I can see it. You were successful because you started working on your craft when you were fucking 14 years old. Maybe probably earlier. I bet it was before you were 14. Probably 12 or 13, right? That's why you're successful doing. No.
Everybody did. No. Everybody has a YouTube channel.
No.
The reason I continued was listening to people that inspired me. You cannot continue making art if you are not inspired by somebody. Everybody started a Call of Duty channel at 14. What made me continue? What made me? Where did I learn things? Where did I hear other people's life experience? Where did I hear people's life stories? Online. YouTube changed my life. A lot of these people I would have never heard about, and that information is stuff I still think about today. I got Dave Chappelle up here. I watched all of his interviews. Stuff like that has still resonated with me to this day, and I was watching it on a Friday night.
If everybody has a YouTube chat, why doesn't everybody become a big YouTuber?
Because they listen to people like you and they fall in line before deciding that they can go do it themselves. And if they want to go clean carpets or to play the saxophone, fuck it. But everybody in my chat wants to play the saxophone.
If you were to take the median income of a group of 100 people that go to college and get degrees versus a group of 100 people that try to make it online, on average, which group do you think is making more money?
Probably the college people.
All right, well, at least you have a realistic look at things.
And do you want to know why that is?
Yeah, because most of the people that try to make it online end up failing out, and then they end up working at McDonald's or 7-Eleven for the rest of their lives.
Because everything in society is programmed so that you're a failure and that you fall in line, like you're doing. They want you to be sheep. They want you to be programmed. They need you to follow so that they can take all the money, take all the resources, and do whatever the fuck they want. So most people will give up. Everything. College, giving your money away. No rich people that I talk to, I don't know about you, all the entrepreneurs that I know say college is a scam.
Yeah, because the entrepreneurs you know don't know how to make money. They don't know how to make businesses. They got lucky with some online scam shit. The online world has poisoned your guys' fucking brains. You guys are looking at these fucking retards that got lucky on shit coins and then scam people with rug pull after rug pull, and you think these are the guys that are building businesses. These guys don't do any real. I hate to be the online guy that says this, but these guys don't work with anything. They don't have brick and mortar stores. They don't have fucking customers. They don't have fucking employees. These are guys that only exist. Like if the internet were to be deleted, these people would be wiped from existence. They have nothing. Like I'm even hesitant to call myself a businessman, but at least I have employees and like actual infrastructure that I can fucking point to. But dude, you're gonna look at these guys who got lucky on a crypto coin and then scam the fuck out of all their files over and over again and then sell NFTs, and you're gonna tell me these people can tell you how to be an entrepreneur? Bro, you have to go to the real world and look at how people are actually learning shit. Like if you get off of the online world, off of the NFT shitscape, and you ask real life people, bro, what do you think we can do to like increase our fucking earning potential, like become better people? At the very least, let's say fucking get an MBA or go to do some shit and get like your 4-year degree in college. Like every single successful entrepreneur will tell you that. Absolutely. Maybe not in the online crypto world, but for real life business people, of course they'll tell you that.
Okay, I'm going to Romania tomorrow to go meet with the Tates. Do you think that there was an example of like crypto nerds who just got lucky gambling?
Didn't they get lucky because they fucking like had like 1 million fucking girls that they were taking OnlyFans money from, working in the basement of like a fucking
lucky?
It's not lucky. It was a good business model.
You just said it was lucky.
It was a good business model, but that's not no. Did I say that was lucky? I just asked you how they made their money.
Okay.
But hold on, they didn't make their money doing fucking online shit. They had like real people working for them. They were doing online work, but it wasn't just selling like and buying and selling fucking cryptocurrency. They at least had like girls that they were getting to like do.
No, they didn't just make money from crypto scams, right?
No, the Andrew Tate. I don't think the Tate brothers made their money off of like crypto shit. I don't think so.
They say the same thing. College is a scam. I'm going to meet them tomorrow. They'll tell you the same thing. All these people who have hustles, who have different businesses, who have their money in different places, all of them told me that college is a scam, and that's something I've always known.
Okay, well, I mean, like, bro, if you talk to like 10 people in that particular world, you must have a really good impression of it all. So, I mean, like,
who do you look up to? Like your favorite saxophone players? All of them like didn't go to school. My favorite, the people I look up to, like Kanye West, dropped out of school, famously college dropout. Steve Jobs famously dropped out. Elon Musk dropped out.
Yeah, because you see the
all
people.
The richest people fucking dropped out. Zuck.
You see, but listen to that. How did Kanye West make it, right? This dude was making fucking 5 beats a day for 3 summers, right? Like, this dude was doing a fucking ton of work. Like, people like Elon Musk, this guy comes from a really well-educated background. I don't know if he dropped out of school. No, I'm not.
He did drop out. He did drop out. So, yes.
The difference is that it's the classic mistake. People look at, like, Bill Gates and they go, that motherfucker dropped out of college, so I'm going to drop out of college. Bro, you want to drop out of college because you're failing algebra. He dropped out of college because college was too busy for the fucking computer company that he was trying to build. It's not the same shit. Like, there are people that drop school because they've got so much else going on in their life and they've got a future in building that. And for those people, yeah, college is a waste of time. If they're like, people will email me or people ask me like, bro, like, I just joined the LCS, or like, I'm like a professional streamer. I've got like 700 viewers. Should I go to college, or should I like follow this esports shit, or should I follow this like streaming shit? I'll say, follow the streaming shit, bro. You have a once in a lifetime opportunity to do that. But if you're going to message me and you're like diamond in fucking Valorant, or if you're like got like 50 viewers, or not 50 is good. If you got like 10 viewers on stream, you're like, should I quit the rest of my life to try to do this? Probably not, bro. Like, the NBA is not for everybody. The NFL is not for everybody. Like not